Before the world starts spinning fast, I pause and take my stand. Coffee in hand, I lace up truth with heaven's battle plan. No fear, no doubt, I suit up strong, his armor fits just right. I'm walking tall, I'm prayed up now, I'm ready for the fight. Wrap me in truth, no lies allowed, I'll walk this road with my head unbowed. No fake disguise, no twisted words, just gospel truth, pure and undisturbed. Armor of God, my morning song is mine, I move along. Shield of faith and sword in hand, in his armor I firmly stand. Truth on my ways, peace on my feet, victory is mine, I won't retreat. Guard my heart, Lord, keep it clean, your righteousness my daily sheen. No shame, no guilt, no hidden stain, I wear your grace like a holy chain. Armor of God, my morning song, it is mine, I move along. Shield of faith and sword in hand, in his armor I firmly stand. Truth on the ways, peace on my feet, victory is mine, I won't retreat. Boots laced tight with peace I bring, good news echoes when I sing. I step with calm through storm and flame, each stride I take I lift your name. Armor of God, my morning song, it is mine, I move along. Shield of faith and sword in hand, in his armor I firmly stand. Truth on my ways, peace on my feet, victory's mine, I won't retreat. Mind renewed, no fear inside, salvation's crown, my holy guide. Thoughts aligned with heaven's view, I see the world through what is true. Armor of God, my morning song, it is mine, I move along. Shield of faith and sword in hand, in his armor I firmly stand. Truth on my ways, peace on my feet, victory's mine, I won't retreat. Word in hand, I speak with fire, sharper than steel, it lifts me high. No weapon formed can take me down, I fight with faith, I wear the crown. Armor of God, my morning song, it is mine, I move along. Shield of faith and sword in hand, in his armor I firmly stand. Truth on my ways, peace on my feet, victory's mine, I won't retreat. So here I stand, the day begun, armored up till setting sun. With every breath I walk his way, in truth and love I face the day.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Again, I'm having like issues with my stuff not wanting to connect up with the right account. Yeah. So let me just pop over. It's always YouTube. So I'm just going to do a little pop-up window for the YouTube chat because it's not pumping directly into my stream thingy here. So give me just a moment. There we go. There we go. I see Lady Molly out there. Hello, hello. Let's see. I'm just going to try to line these up here so I can see them as we go. Let's see. This is like the worst setup ever. It's almost like when you set these up, they only want you to use like one account, and I have multiple accounts here that I stream to, you know, for each channel or whatever, and it's always a pain. Getting kind of no, you didn't miss it, Lady Molly. You didn't miss it. I was just trying to take and get some last minute stuff set up here. I have so much stuff going on here in my personal life that when it's time to take and get on here and do these live streams, it's almost like I'm playing catch up or doing last minute stuff. So, turned everything off. What do you mean you turned everything off? Yeah, I'm still gonna try to get this to go. It wants and then I can't type. It's like it's trying to use, like, I think it's trying to use Chrome from the inside, and the only account that it remembers is the account that I'm not using anymore, the main IRL Media account. Excuse the cough. I don't know if all you guys saw the other video that I put up yesterday, but last Thursday night we had a kitchen fire above the stove. It was pretty bad, and I did fairly quickly get the fire out, but not before it did substantial damage. Oil fires are like the worst kind of fire that you can have in a kitchen, and if you can't get a lid on that pot quick enough, it's not gonna. It's like a blowtorch. It basically melted the stove hood. All the plastic in there melted all over the top of the ceramic top stove. The cabinets on either side and the one above the hood charred pretty bad. Yeah, so it was bad. I had a lot of mess to clean up. The following day, which was Friday, we ordered the new cabinets and the new hood. I spent time cleaning up, and then in the afternoon on Friday we went and picked all the new cabinets and the hood up, and then Saturday I got everything installed. So it's back to looking like it did. The only thing different is I added a metal, I think they call it a stove backsplash, but I put a metal one up there. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I shut everything down and brought it back up, but for some reason it doesn't want to recognize my other account. Let me try something through. If I go, I think I can get the information that I need. I just have to, yeah, I'm on the right account, so just let me let me see if I can get the right email address in. It would make it so much easier if I can ingest this. But there is a lot of stuff that I wanna that I wanna talk about today, and if you guys don't mind, I might take a minute or two to get to it. But let's see. It wants email or phone. Okay. And then it wants a password. And I believe here, let me just the way that Chrome and Windows works these days, if you pick two-factor authentication, it doesn't always automatically save a password in your password list. And when I've got so many different passwords and these accounts for all the different things that go into this, it just gets to be kind of a pain. So let me see if that one works. If not, then it's the other one. I think this is the right one. All right, now it wants me. All right, I got to step away because it's on the two-factor authentication's on my other phone. Hold on. You guys see my kitty house back there? All right, I think I got it. I think it went. All right. So, and it's not even true two-factor authentication. But it's still saying that it's offline. So I don't know. Maybe, oh, there it goes. Now it says it's live. Okay, so let me paste the message in there. There we go. Now they're all coming up. I can see everything internally now. The only other problem is that Rumble and BitChute will not show up there. So, but anyway, I think now that I'm not going to be using the other account anymore, I don't think I'll have this problem again. I wish there was a way with these plugins for OBS that I could manually add the other accounts to get the chats come in, because I don't up here on the main screen, up in this area, right up in here, I can throw a chat box up there that incorporates the other areas, but I don't want to muddy up the screen with all that stuff. I know maybe gamers like to do that, but that's not what we're all about here. So anyhow, let's see. I don't even know how Molly, can you tell me if it tells you how many people are watching on YouTube? I think you might be the only one, because that's the small account that I'm trying to grow. There's only like, I think 65 subscribers on that channel. But I wanted to make sure that I had people watching. It says I got one watching now. So Molly, you're there all by yourself. And if I go over to Rumble, yeah, that one. And I have never, it seems like nobody on BitChute catches the live stream. They always catch it after. Well, actually, I do have one person watching on BitChute. Okay, good. So we got a few people in here and watching. Just trying to build it up. All right. Thanks for being patient, everybody, with getting my things fixed here. I don't know why at the last minute. It always does this. So, Molly, let me give you I can give you my email address. I don't know if I have it on the scroller on the bottom, but my my email address is Mr. E, M-R-E, at IRL Media HQ.com. And yeah, if you wanna, if you're still in contact with a lot of the, the previous group and family, let them all know that I'm here, and I would absolutely love it if we could get together and collaborate on some stuff and do some things together again. It would be a lot of fun. But yeah, I haven't talked to Indy in a while. I don't know what he's doing. I saw JB was on one of the streams and he left a post and a thumbs up. I haven't gotten back with him yet. I'm going to be making some phone calls today, so hopefully I'll be able to get a hold of them. But if you want to shoot me some phone numbers in that email address, Molly, then I'll start reaching out to people. And if you want, you can send yours too, if you're okay with that. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna probably take a minute for things to update, so. All right, I'm just going to look on the other, I've got to bring the other chat windows up because every time I switch out, they go away. All right, how would you guys like to get into the gist of our Monday morning update? We've already wasted 18 and a half minutes trying to figure out bugs in the machine. So, today, I just wanted to do kind of an update on what's going on with Venezuela. Now, there's Venezuela and New York, and one's gonna segue into the other. But apparently this whole thing with Venezuela, I think a lot of this, and this is just because I'm putting some puzzle pieces together. I don't know if it's 100% true or not, but there were some comms that were put out the other day, and there were some things that, like, say, on a screenshot that I got from Fox News, that showed that they were on the phone with President Trump, President number 45, the 45th President Trump. And the tag on the bottom of the Fox News screen was with regarding Venezuela and arresting Maduro and his wife and bringing them back. So I think, based off of those comms, okay, when it's saying 45, this would have been, let's look back at President Trump's first term, okay, and then talking with a few other people, and then listening to some other influencers out there that are pretty big into, getting the right information out. They believe, as do I, and I think that screenshot that I saw from Fox, it kind of confirmed it for me. I mean, nothing's ever 100%, but it confirmed it for me that this operation was already in the works during President Trump's first term. So, they were talking that they had one person on the ground that was feeding intel to our intelligence agencies. And based off of what I was able to glean from the information I was getting, and it was from 3 other people that they're loosely connected. They've done collaborations before, but they're not like in a network or group of people. So we had Juan 07 was one of them. David Nino Rodriguez was another, and Alpha Warrior, who's got a big following on Rumble and on X, had all mentioned the same thing, and we're thinking the same thing, that this was going all the way back to Trump's first term. So, and it all makes sense too when they talk about we have it all. So, again, I gotta reiterate here that we're watching a scripted movie. So I think a lot of this has already played out. There are a few things, in my opinion, that they're waiting on. But I believe now, even if you look back even a couple years even further back, we see a lot of these people that were wearing the ankle bracelets, that you could tell they were wearing an ankle bracelet, or they were in some kind of one of those boots, you know, like they had a sprained ankle or whatever. So there were quite a few of them that we saw, and you know, you start kind of moving forward with this, put the pieces together, and that brings me to the conclusion that yes, this whole operation, and the reason that it went as smoothly as it did, was because it was put together many years in advance with the cooperation of Nicolas Maduro. And people are going to say, well, wait a minute, you know, this guy was a dictator, yada yada. Okay, well, maybe he wasn't like the cleanest tool in the shed, but if we think back to North Korea and all of the BS that we were getting about how bad and evil North Korea was, and then it turns out, we find out that, you know, Trump was the first U.S. president to step across the border and step into North Korea to meet the current leader. But that only happened after we took the deep state people out. And what we found out is that there were rogue CIA elements, military industrial complex people, big people in big tech that were, and the big tech came in later, but a lot of this here was done by what I'll call the Kabbalistic group out there. Okay, so these were people that, and they weren't always the same. They changed over time, but these people came in, and they were the ones that were running North Korea since they went into the ceasefire back in, what was it, like 1953-ish, 1950 to 53. I don't remember exactly, but so here we were always been fed the boogeyman story that the Kim family were all evil, okay? And basically what it was is they were captured by, moment here. I'm getting some stuff from Ukraine right now. Anyway, so we've been fed the boogeyman story about the Kim family all these years, and we were led to believe that they were all evil. All right. And so this is carried forward all these years, and then we find out now that none of that was true. We were able to free North Korea and find out that they were not the bad ones. One second, I'm sorry about this. Thank you. All right. So, now we found that out about North Korea. So now we're probably seeing that it was a very similar situation in Venezuela. And now we're finding out that Cuba was in there with their hands in the mix, and they were pretty much running everything. And if you remember back to when Chavez nationalized everything, they basically stole all of the oil refinery stuff that actually belonged to United States companies. They basically stole that, and all the oil that was supposed to be partly ours as well. So ever since they nationalized, that all of a sudden became theft from the United States, and no president ever did anything about it. So, yeah, Molly, you're right. China was there. I don't think they were running too much of the show, but they were in there trying to get their hands on cheaper oil, at least the crude. And I believe that they were also there looking for minerals and other things, like precious metals, like silver and other, the other types. Mainly right now, the big thing is silver. But so in reality, so Cuba is being made to look like the bad guy, but like, who's actually running Cuba? Okay, who are those people up above that have so much power that can run these countries? Okay, it's never been disclosed to us who these people are, but I can guarantee you that it's not the Cuban government, little Cuba, that's been running in Venezuela. I think maybe Cuba might have been like the strongmen, but Cuba's taking orders from somebody too. And I think we're going to find out who that is. But unfortunately, that's probably going to take a little bit of time before that comes out. Excuse me. So everything's not going to come out together in one big nice little package. But then, like I spoke about the other day as well, that people were questioning, well, why are we going and doing all this military stuff in these other countries when we've got possible things going on in our country? Why aren't we taking care of our own backyard first? Well, in essence, we are, with the things that were going on, the attacks against ISIS, Al-Shabaab, the stuff that's going on in Africa. A lot of the people that are there and that might have been taking the brunt of some of these attacks were leadership for people that have already been infiltrated into our country. Now, on the same token, though, if we look at what was going on in Portland and in Chicago and in Los Angeles, what we saw 99% of the time was daylight activity with ICE. Okay, we never once saw any of the nighttime activity, and I believe, and this is from some other intel that I got, I know that there were a lot of nighttime raids that were going on in those three cities, and they were picking up cartel gang members, whether it be Agua, MS-13, or any other cartel members like the Zetas or whatever, as well as any Islamic perpetrators that were here. I think a lot of them were also picked up on the nighttime raids, and we're of course not going to hear about that because those are the super secret ones that nobody's going to hear about. Okay, so like I said, we're watching a movie, it's scripted, stuff's happening behind the scenes that we're not seeing and we're not privy to. As we all know, Trump never tells anybody, especially the Democrats or his enemies, what he's doing or what he's thinking about doing. He likes to keep them guessing. So, basically what we're looking at now is Cuba is the strong man that was controlling Venezuela. Now, when the operation was taking place, and there are videos that came out, the first videos that I saw, believe it or not, actually showed up on Telegram on Ukrainian news channels. So this is telling me that Ukraine is involved in a lot of this stuff too. Go figure, right? There's some stuff I want to talk about Ukraine, but that might be like on a future show on putting out on everything that's going on over there. But back to Venezuela. So Cuba is the strong man, but who is actually controlling Cuba? All right. So during the operation, we saw the videos, like I mentioned, and the explosions and the rockets that were coming in and hitting what appeared to me to be military installations. I believe that was Cuban and possibly Iranian soldiers that were in those locations that were hit. And I guarantee you we're not going to hear any complaints from Cuba or from Iran on the United States attacking locations inside Venezuela where their military people were targeted and killed. And there's a reason for that, because they don't want anybody to know or to start looking further into any of these other operations that are going on. Okay? So, again, the big question right now looming is who is on the, and I'm not even saying they're top of the pyramid, but who is above the Cuba, Venezuela that are the puppet masters directing Cuba to do their strongman work in Venezuela. Okay, so that's something that we need to look at and see what might happen. Okay, the other thing in conjunction with this is I believe that this raid in Venezuela put Colombia and Mexico on notice that on how we went in there and how we accomplished this was quick and painless. We didn't lose no personnel or equipment. All right. So now there's questions on, like with Scheinbaum. Okay. We know that she's actually been controlled by the cartels, but could she also be in a captured state like Maduro or like Kim Jong-un? Okay. And they need to put together another operation similar to remove her from there so that she could also be arrested, but become a witness, okay, for the indictments that the United States, a lot of these are still sealed. Okay, so if you listen to the press conference that President Trump and that staff put out, when Raising Cane got up there and said his part, he specifically said that he's not going to go into the details of the operation because they might have to do an operation like this again. So that tells me that Colombia and Mexico are both on notice, if that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up, or say yeah if it makes sense to you that this is what's probably going to happen. Okay, so I think the next big thing that we're going to move a little bit, it's connected to Venezuela, but it's also another keystone. This has to do with Tina Peters. Then I think the next big thing that's going to happen is that Tina Peters is going to be getting released. She'll be escorted out by some white hat military guys and be taken into protective custody. She'll probably get medical care first, but I'm sure while that's happening, they're going to be getting the other information that they need from her to either allow them to unseal some of the other indictments or some of these other indictments that have already been unsealed. I mean, I think they're unsealed because we've already been told about John Brennan having an indictment, quite possibly Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Clapper, and some of the others. So I have a feeling now that Maduro has been taken into custody. And I apologize for my my stream. For whatever reason, my stream seems to be lagging here, and I'm not sure if maybe somebody else in the house is streaming a movie or something. I don't know. But anyway, I think the next big thing though is Tina Peters coming out, and I believe this is going to start. All these indictments and the arrests are going to start happening pretty quickly. Some people are saying that there's some big things that have to happen before April of 2026, because those things that will happen will basically seal a red wave for the Republicans in the elections in November. Okay. So, let's see. I want to move on now from, well, actually, before I move on from Venezuela, there are so many videos coming out from Venezuelans. The majority of these are in Caracas, where the people are out waving American flags, chanting Trump, 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 we love Trump. They're celebrating that Maduro has been taken out of power, and what really now makes me scratch my head is what's going on in New York. Okay, so as soon as Maduro was taken into custody, I mean, not even 8 hours later, there are posts coming out on X and on TikTok and some of the, and I think the Blue, whatever it is, excuse me, these other social media places, they're posting placards of having these big protests to release Maduro. That they're saying that that it was an illegal arrest. Well, these people are very misinformed. Everything that was done to get Maduro was 117% legal. But the point that I'm making is that the Venezuelans are happy about this, and to the point where they're celebrating on the streets. One of the first videos that I saw came out on TikTok, and there was somebody up in a high-rise apartment building. They had their window open, and you could see cars driving on the street, probably like 30 floors below, and they were recording, and you could hear the people, and they weren't in the street. I think they were opening their windows in their homes, and there might have been people on the street, but you could hear people cheering and chanting USA, USA. And this is right after. So now these people in New York doing the protest, and I mean, you wouldn't believe the stuff that's coming out on X right now.
Okay.
My video automatically played. They're in New York. They are out there like protesting. I mean, it's like, well, you're going to take and put a boy in a dress, definitely trying to act like trans, but an Antifa trans or something, and protesting and in front of the courthouse to release Maduro. And then we've got other people out here on the streets pushing law enforcement officials and threatening them. So in the protest, there's with the people that are out there protesting, we've got what's his name, Nick Shirley, and some of the people that work with him. These are like citizen journalists. They're out there talking to these people that are protesting, and they're finding out that they're being paid to be there to protest. They're being told that, yep, we have to come out here and protest to release Maduro. They don't know why, because they don't follow, but they're out there protesting, release Maduro, release Maduro. They probably don't even know who Maduro is, most of these people. They're idiots. So, I want to jump back to Venezuela real quick, and Molly put a message out here about Venezuela having dirty oil, fit for heating oil. But she makes a point, too, that the places where they have the refinery that can do this oil, there are two places in the United States. It's not just by Houston, but down by Corpus Christi area, Corpus Christi, Brownsville area, and then in Louisiana. So these are the places that can actually refine that into regular fuel. And the interesting thing is by us taking control of that oil in Venezuela, that cuts China out. China has no other recourse of places they can go to buy oil, because we also have an agreement with OPEC that if there is a country that is hostile to the United States, OPEC is not allowed to sell them oil. And the hostility doesn't just mean war. It could be, through the commercial process too. So China is kind of they're going to have to concede to a point and just agree to buy their oil from the United States or through OPEC. They'll still get better pricing on it, but they have to concede to no more war and no more taking over of countries. All right. So let's see here. I think I'm getting pretty close to being done here. Let's see. Now we're back over to. I don't want to go into this. I've been talking about what's going on in Minnesota quite heavily over the past probably 4 or 5 broadcasts. So, but what I do want to say is that now Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, I don't think he's stepping down or resigning, but he said that he is not going to run for governor again in the next term. His lieutenant governor is just as bad as he is, and I think she, if there's any, if she could be part of an indictment, she should be, because then she can't take over, and that way Minnesota can actually have an election, and the Minnesotans can actually elect their choice for governor. And I guarantee you that Minnesota will become a red state after most of them realize how badly they've been defrauded. All right, let me see, what else do I have here? Just more stuff on Tim Walz. So Colin Rudd put, Governor Tim Walz announces he is dropping out of the governor's race, mentions Nick Shirley in his statement. So Nick Shirley, he says, I won't mince words here. Donald Trump and his allies in Washington and St. Paul and online want to make our state a colder, meaner place. Haha. He's going to blame it on the Republicans for catching him in fraud. So, but by him not running again, he's basically admitting that everything he's being accused of, he did. All right, so I will be back Wednesday morning, I think. I might have to go out of town and go to Houston Wednesday in the afternoon. If it's in the afternoon, I'm going to be doing a little bit earlier podcast. But otherwise, if everything goes through and I have to do this thing Wednesday in Houston, I may not be back until next Monday for another live stream. So I got some big stuff in the works right now. I'm just waiting to see if it's going to pan out. So that's all I have for today, Molly. Thanks for hanging out and helping out with stuff in chat. Appreciate it. I just want to tell everybody out there, with everything that's going on, I always say this, have good situational awareness. Know what's going on around you at all times. You probably should be packing now, and if you're not, be with somebody who is. Because it doesn't matter if you're in the big city, the suburbs, or out here in the Boontoolies like me. You never know who you're going to run into or what you're going to run into, and you need to be able to protect yourself. So I want to just tell you, God bless every one of you out there on the other side of this screen. Be safe. If depending on how things go for Wednesday, I might be back Wednesday morning. If you don't see me Wednesday morning, don't expect me to be back until the following Monday. All right? God bless everybody. Take care. Peace out.